for the. Thank you very much, Kai. The funds are available for all Israeli companies. It is like that just because Israel signed an agreement with the European Union, with the European Commission, in order to participate and be part of this project. The Israeli Ministry of Technology and Science understood that it's impossible for a small country as Israel, small but with many resources, although, and many startups, to organize a huge project that includes so many international partners. So they made a decision already in 1994 to become part of this type of projects. And the last thing you need to know, and we will speak about today, is that the steps to obtain those grants or this specific grant are not that complicated, but yet, as everything in Europe, they are requiring understanding in the labyrinth of bureaucracy of the European Union. And this is something that you will need to understand if you will go to that direction. Okay. So what is on our today's plan? First, I'm going to tell you who we are, who is here to speak with you, from what knowledge we are speaking with you. Secondly, I like to start from the macro because I think this is the way to better understand everything. So we'll speak shortly about Horizon Europe, then types of grants that includes in Horizon Europe, so we will have all the information needed, and EIC Accelerator. Obviously, this is our main dish for today. Then we will tell you about checklists before deciding to apply. And last but not least, some tips for a winning bid. So, hi there, as I already introduced, we are True Innovation. True Innovation is a young company that works in the field of non-dilutive funding. We're helping companies to obtain grants from a national and international organization, if it's the European Commission, if it's national states in Europe, and obviously from the Israeli Innovation Authority. I myself started my way in the EU as an intern at the Foreign Affairs Committee. Then after I continued to the Science and Technology Committee. And there I started to work with the Israeli lobby, where we understood that the way to get to the hearts of the European parliamentarians is through the Israeli innovation. So we brought an amazing delegation of 20 startups from Jerusalem to Europe. And that is where I understood two things. One, actually I did with my two fingers, so it actually seems like two, but one is that Israelis do not know anything about the EU. Obviously, they do not know anything about the opportunities there. Our eyes is always going to the US, where we can have investments, but the EU is the place for the non-dilutive funding. Also, it's a huge market that is a huge opportunity, and it's in our neighborhood. Second thing, that the Europeans, specifically the EU, does not know much about innovation and startups. And there I understood that there is a place to create a synergy that could benefit both sides. So I started working with a local company, local consultancy, learned how to obtain those grants. Then after I continue with the partnership with the Italian partners. And when I came back to Israel, I established it already when I was in Europe, but I started my operation here of helping specifically to Israeli, but not only, companies to obtain those grants. So, Horizon Europe, I'm not asking for a question right now, but if you have, please feel free. But I think there is not much to ask until now, because this is not the reason we came to this webinar today. Horizon Europe. Several important things to know about the macro of this framework. One, they have a budget of 95.5 billion euros. at the program that funds research, innovation, and collaboration. We will dive into what each point of those 3 points mean. They want the world to be greener, they want the world to be healthier, and they want to promote digitalization. As you can think, climate change, greener, COVID-19, healthier, digitalization, because it's helped society to become part of a movement that's making the world more healthy and more green. This project is split into 3 main pillars. The first pillar related to research is about excellent science. Excellent science is mainly dealing with academy, helping PhD students to move from one place to another, helping to people that will not find their place in the academy to find their place in the industry. This is mainly what they're doing, a very early stage of developments. Less related to us, we are not going to speak about it today. To be honest, my company is not really dealing with this part, this pillar, because Israeli Academy is doing excellent, it's doing fantastic in this project already. They are at 6th place of, they put us as a 6th state that is winning those type of grants. So they're okay. Second pillar is global challenges and the EU industry. They're splitting it into 6 different clusters. Each cluster has its own topic. Those calls for proposals are published every 2 years. We are speaking about hundreds of calls for proposals, but as I mentioned before, collaboration. This is dealing with consortiums, mostly consortium of 5 to 10 partners, if not more. They are very beneficial. It is very interesting to take part of it. There are many things that a company can gain out of participant in such a consortium, but it's very important to remember as well that those type of grants are top down, meaning EU is deciding our priority about the topic and the challenge and the scope of what they want to gain from this call of proposal, and the consortium need to answer. In a different manner, we are going now to the third pillar, in which EIC Accelerator is part of, which is the EIC. This is the third pillar, is relevant for innovation. Here we are speaking about bottom up, meaning that anyone with an innovative technology, with a breakthrough technology, can jump in and try his luck with this grant. But we will speak now about what exactly is the opportunity, who exactly is most likely to receive this type of grant, and what is required. Question up until now? First question, second question. Okay, I'm moving forward. So what is EIC Accelerator that everybody is speaking of? It's an EU grant for startups. It's allowing you to receive the opportunities up to 2.5 million euros in non-dilutive funding, meaning it's not a loan like the Israeli Innovation Authority. You do not need to give it back. Why are they giving money for free? Because they want to promote innovation in Europe. What does it mean? If we are in part of their neighborhood, if they're granting us a funding of 2.5 million euros, then part of the project that we will need to fulfill will happen in Europe, meaning we will not jump firstly to the US and forget about Europe. It will not be the secondary market. It will be the primary market. And we will enter and we will bring new innovation, new technology to Europe. We will bring more jobs to Europe, and they will be enjoying it as well. So this is why they're granting it. Second point, up to 15 million euros as an investment from the EU. The EU does not only want you to finalize the development of your project, they also want you to to successfully fulfill everything that you need for your company. So they're introduced a year ago the option for 15 million euros as an investment from the EU in order to help you to get to break even. Finally, we are speaking about the total opportunity of about 17.5 million euros that are being given over a project that lasts for 24 months at least. We're speaking about the grant is for a project of 24 months. The investment is for the further steps. What is the process? The process of the EIC Accelerator, as I mentioned before, is not that complicated, but you really need to understand what is going on in this process in order to succeed in that. So we are speaking about three main steps. Step one, you can submit it anytime. There is no deadline. You're required to submit a short concept note. When I'm saying short, I'm speaking about around 15 to 20 pages. This is the short in the EU. Then I'm speaking about pitch deck that introduce the company, no more than 10 slides. Last but not least, you need to produce a short video of 3 minutes with no more than 3 presenters that present your company and who you are. Then you are going through a process of evaluation that takes about 3 to 4 weeks. And if you get 2 goes out of 4 evaluators, you are being passed to the second step. The best thing, the winner companies are winning 4 goes. If you don't have 4 goes, it will be very hard work to move forward to the successful full submission. But this is why you need to really verify if your technology is innovative and whether you will be successful in what the EU is looking for. Full submission is a fixed dated. The next deadline is at October 5th, 2022. I will explain soon what is required to do in the full submission. Then again, you're going to evaluation. Here it's more complicated because you need to receive 3 goes out of 3 evaluators, meaning that everybody will sorry, long words in English, it's hard for me, but that everybody will decide that you should move to the next step. This evaluation takes between 5 to 6 weeks. If you are being picked out of the people that participated, you're being invited to an interview. The interview is a meeting with 5 to 6 jury members, mostly coming from your industry and from business. So they're coming from investment in your specific industries, VCs, angels, whatsoever. Those are the main people that you will meet there. You will need to convince them on a Zoom meeting for 45 minutes with a pitch deck that you will submit at the full submission and answering their question that you are able to implement the project successfully. And if they will invest their money in your company, they will surely benefit from it. So that is the main point. Then if they are saying go, you're starting the negotiation. I don't know who of you have received money from the Israeli Innovation Authority, but I will surely tell you it's not the same. It's not the same negotiation. Nobody is asking you or telling you that they think that you at the end need 1.5 million euros and not 2.3 million euros. They work on trust. They believe you. If you're asking 2.3 million euros, they believe that this is what you need. The negotiation is about the deliverables, about the milestones, about privacy aspects, but not about the amount of funding. And then the most important part, if you're passing all 3 steps, you are granted with the funding. Any question about the process? Okay, keep on going. Who are they looking for? This is why we're here actually, to understand who is the perfect candidate for the EIC Accelerator. So first thing first, we are speaking about technology. We are here to speak about innovative technology. Many times, people believe that people are mistaken between innovative application and innovative technology. You can create an amazing marketplace that was never been done before, but it will not be an innovative technology. Why? Because marketplaces already exist and you are just using it for another application. We'll give you an amazing example. There is no way that Airbnb would have been granted by the EU. And they're a successful company. So just to balance things, the fact that maybe you don't have the most innovative technology, but you have an amazing innovative application does not mean anything about your company. It only means that probably you will not receive grant from the EU. That being said, let's go and speak about technological readiness level and what does it mean and how does it affect you. What the EU wants to do is to take a company, a product from lab to market, a technology to become from a technology to a product that you can distribute in the market. So we are starting from TRL 5, and this point is very important for two reasons. One, in Israel, we have only 3 TRL levels. We have an idea, we have a minimal valuable product, and we have commercialization. At the EU, and not only, also in the US, this TRL was invented by NASA. They have 9. I will not go through the 1 to 4. This is the first step of development, but I will speak about the point in which the EU meets you in order to receive the EIC grant. So TRL 5, meaning that technology was for the first time brought out of the lab and was validated in relevant environment. If I have a chair, chair is not a good example. Okay, let's say a chair. If I have a chair that I invented in my lab and now I want to validate it, I will take it to the field and I will sit on it and I will see if it survives. Again, not the best example, but until I finish the TRLs, I will think about a better example for that. TRL 6, which will sound very similar to TRL 5, is technology demonstrated in relevant environment. For example, here I got another example. If I have a software that helps to find problems in a data center, and I want to take it out of the lab, so the first thing will be to run it through a computer and see that it successfully finds problems in the system. This will be the first time. This is TRL 5. Then if I want to demonstrate the technology, I will take it to the staging environment. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but every data center have a staging environment. So obviously, no one in the industry would like you to come with your new technology and fully depend on it before they are testing it. So they will take it to their staging area and you will be able to demonstrate it in a relevant environment. Demonstrating meaning not just run it once and hope it will succeed. We are working on larger numbers, meaning to run it for a few months and see that it fulfill its ambition. It fulfills its mission, that at the end of the day, the data finds problems in the system. TRL 7, this is a big jump. This is system prototype. If you can see, before we spoke about technology, now we are speaking about the specific prototype that you already created, the most similar version to your product that you will distribute in the market. So system prototype demonstration in operational environment. Again, as I told you, it will seem that everything is the same thing, but there is slight difference that are making the whole difference between those TRLs. So 5, I validated in relevant environment. 6, I demonstrated in the relevant environment. Now in 7, I have the prototype, the most similar thing to my product, and I'm demonstrating it in an operational environment, meaning if I'm working with a data center, at TRL 7, the data center will go beyond the safe zone and will try my system on the data center itself, and it will be dependent on my system. So this is the real proof that my system is working. This is the operational environment, that the end user is using my system. This is TRL 7. TRL 8, system completed and qualified. I did my task demonstration, what we are calling pilots, beta sites, those type of names. And I finalized that. I went back to the lab. I finalized my prototype. I created my version 1.0 of the system. It's completed, it's qualified, and it's ready to go to the market. Those are the 4 stages that the EIC wants to help a company with. They are looking to help you with TRL 5. This is the moment they want to meet you, when you're reaching TRL 5, when you're able to validate your technology in a relevant environment, or at TRL 6 that you demonstrate your technology in relevant environment. For medical devices, it's a bit different because it's a different process of validation. So if we have here people from medical industry, I will happily explain later what does it mean for medical TRLs. They want you to do a project that helps you to get to obtain TRL 6, TRL 7, TRL 8. They want you after 24 months to reach a system that is complete and qualified. Then they want you to use their investment money, but you don't have to use their investment money, to go to pre-commercialization. Completing TRL 9, meaning that you are commercialized, you're in the market, your budgets and resources, efforts are shifting from research and development to marketing and selling. And this is the purpose of the investment funding. Any question about TRLs? Okay, seems like you understand everything very well. Okay, moving forward. Business readiness level, I will not work on that so long. It is important, but not so important. They want you to be a bit mature, not fully matured, but quite mature at the testing phase, which means that you're between BRL 4, business readiness level, to BRL 5, large scale early adopter campaign, or small scale stakeholder campaign. Then, what is the proposal content? First step includes a concept note, a pitch deck, and a short video. We spoke about it. Full submission includes business model. I need to work on my animation. Business model, market penetration, which market are you going to enter to? How are you going to enter to this market? What is the available end user that you can obtain in this market? Your pitch deck, it's very important. It will be used also at the interview. What is your development? How did you achieve the stage that you are at now? How did you achieve TRL 5? LOS, letters of support. At the end of the day, it's not enough that you're testify about yourself, that you're the best, that you have this technology, that you will be a breakthrough in the market, a game changer, and all of those buzzwords. The most important thing is that somebody else will indicate it about you. Investors that want to invest in you, end user that want to use your product, distributors that are willing to distribute your product, etc., etc., etc. A competition research, what is your competition, work plan, how are you going to reach from TRL 5 to TRL 8? You need to prepare a Gantt. A business model, we already spoke about. P&L, profit and loss, it's actually financial projections. You need to share everything about what happened in the last 2 years and what's going to happen in the next 5 years. 5 years, it's a lot, but they want you to project what is the bright future of your company. What are they testing? So they are testing first excellence, meaning they're checking whether your technology is really something that is superior to other technologies that exist, that it's something new, that you have the rights to use your technology, that you have the correct IP. They're checking why you're better than your competitors. They really want you to prove and explain in details why your innovation is better than all others. Next question for them is the impact. How does your technology, your product is going to impact the market? So now I have my product, like for example, the product that Elon presented before, helping elderly from falling. How would it impact the market? When I'm saying impact, I'm not speaking the usual impact of the EU, like society impact. I'm speaking about how will it change the market? Is it going to be the next gold standard? How will it impact the pricing in the market? How will it impact your competitors? How will it impact the way that people are adapting this type of technology? We are speaking from business development way of thinking, and not from a climate change or poverty or people in Africa or wherever. We are speaking about the market. Third point is implementation. Do you have the team to implement this project, this plan that you are submitting now? This is a crucial question, because if you don't have the team, if the people that you have with you does not have the credential, but just have goodwill, it will not be enough. You need to show that you have a diverse team, that you have a good team, that you are sharing with them your the options of the company, that they can benefit from the success of the company, and that you have behind you also investors, that you have behind you a strong back of people that believe in you. Without those three to be perfect, you will not receive 3 goes. Any question about that? Okay, let's continue. So, checklist before starting, before beginning to go through this process. First point first, check that a market exists, that there are those people who will be willing to pay for your product. This is a crucial thing to do. Otherwise, if you will not do that, you will not be able to prove that there is a market. When you will be asked, how do you know that people will be willing to pay for your product? It is not enough to say, because it's needed, because it will change the market. No, you need to bring proof, you need to bring evidence. So that is a very important point. Next point, to show that you have a breakthrough technology. This is what we spoke about at the TRL, that your technology reached TRL 5, that the technology is game-changing, is new, it's a technological innovation and not applicative innovation. This is very important. TRL 5, we spoke about it already. Stability. You have enough resources to finalize the project. If you're now standing on the last 2 million, on the last $1 million that you have in your bank, what will ensure the evaluators and the people in front of you that you will be able to reach the end of the project, to reach even the time that the project begins? Like, it takes approximately 8 months from beginning till the end to obtain the funding. What will promise them that you will have enough resource? And what will promise them that is that you have support. You have a strong backing of people who believe in you, which is the board of directors and science advisory board. Those people are giving that it's important that they will have their prestige, are giving the strength to your company in the eyes of others. Next point, how having some winning submission tips. So first thing first, which is most important, speak European. Don't speak any other language. Don't speak American. Speak European. It is important to speak in euros and not in dollars. It's important to show everything, every number in euros. Although everybody is dealing with dollars, you need to show it in euro. The easy thing now, the great thing about the timing that we have now, that dollar and euro is approximately at the same level, although the euro became a bit more stronger lately, but we're speaking about approximately the same numbers. Next point is, think of Europe as your target market. Don't say we will enter Europe. Don't say we will open a front office in Europe. There is not such a thing, Europe. There is European Union, which has its member. There are many countries, 27 countries, state members at the EU, and you need to speak about a country, a specific state member. We will enter Germany. We will enter Germany because 1, 2, 3. We will enter Poland. We will enter Poland because they have the most data centers in Europe. Pick a country and explain why is the best place for you to begin. You have a contact there, you have whatever. Then how much should you ask? You should ask exactly what you needed. Do not build a budget top down. They can give us 2.5 million euros. Let's ask 2.49999. This is not working. Many Israelis doing that. Do not do that. This is very important to make sure you're building the budget bottom up and not top down. Another point, they do not like subcontracting. What is subcontracting? Because this word is very confusing. We're not speaking about lawyers, audit, patent attorney, and different consultants that you need that have their specific profession. We are speaking about taking an activity from the work plan and subcontract it to somebody else. This is something they do not like. They wanted all activities will be done by your team. And if not, you should have a very good explanation why not. And first steps, some tips about the first steps. Read carefully all instructions. This is very important. There are many instructions, they're explaining everything. Most time, the language they are using, it's not clear, but you need to read it carefully to understand all instruction and make sure you're answering to the point, to the question. Then, sound repetitive? Look again. What does it mean? You remember when we went through the TRLs? TRL 5, 6, and 7 literally look the same, sound the same. It's hard to understand what the heck they want from us. But here it's quite the same. It sounds repetitive. Look again, find the different wording, find the different question, find the explanations, and try to understand better why they're asking here about the needed technology, and here they're asking about the wanted technology. There are small differences, but they are making they are very important to take care and look at them. Second step, start working on the second step straight away. Start work on that at the moment you are submitting the first step. Start to work on the second step. Why? Because the second step is very long, very hard, required a lot of attention, require at least 8 weeks of working. So please start working on that at the moment you are submitting the first step. Last but not least, on the second step, you should remember the pitch deck that you are going to submit is the exact presentation that you will use in the interview. There are no changes, there are no nothing. Nobody will allow you to change. You forgot to put somebody from your team in the presentation, that is dead. You cannot use it anymore. The pitch deck that you are submitting for the second step will be the pitch deck that you will use in the interview. So I will suggest you to test your capability to present it before it is being submitted. Okay, so before we are finishing, my company, Twinnovation, is offering a go, no-go service for free. You can ask us and consult with us about your technology, if it's interesting, if it will be interesting for the EU, and we will happily help you to understand better if you should submit and to which type of grant should you submit. You can keep in touch with us in Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn. And now I'll be happy to answer any question that you have. So feel free. Anyone, questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the internet address to apply for this grant? Can we have the link to the internet address?
With much pleasure. I'm sending now the link for the platform of the EU. So you can find it. It is, wait. So it is now the platform. There you can find the grants of the EU for 2022. Any other question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned that they required also that you have sufficient resources.
Mm-hmm.
That's contradict the whole idea of startup. That's the whole problem. We don't have enough resources. So therefore, it's interesting to go to such accelerator and to get the amount of money required or the funds required to continue.
This is a fair point. This is a fair question. When I meant sufficient resources, I didn't mean sufficient to get to break even. I meant sufficient to survive a few more months. This is the point. And I will add to that another thing that is very important, and it's true not only for the EU grant, but also for investors. At the end of the day, nobody would like to give 2.5 million euros to someone that never had in his bank $500,000, because that means this person have never dealt or managed in the framework of a startup a large amount of budget. So it's a huge jump from 0 to 2.5 million euros. Therefore, it's very important to be already in the stage of a seed or something similar.
Yeah, but that's a question of also of experience.
That is very hard to prove as well. You need to really prove that you have a track record of experience, that you already did that. That is helpful very much as well.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Can you put again your email on the chat? So
yes, it is there right now. And I will send you also the presentation.
Okay, thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Well, whatever you described here has to do only with the accelerator, meaning submitting an application by a single company. Now, if we have partners, European partners, that we want to have a project with, like a POC, you know, if you go for a POC for service, agricultural service in Europe, of course, it will be far more effective if you have the European partner that will be implementing eventually the result of the project. So do we have all that also in this link, these applications? Are they still there?
At the link that I sent, you can find several things about that. Actually, you can find everything about that, but also you should know you have more opportunities. So the consortium, you can have opportunities within the framework of Horizon Europe. Also, you can have them, if you have European partners already, you can have opportunities in the national level as well for a very high and interesting funding for this type of POC.
Okay. Do you give consultations for that as well?
Yes, with much pleasure.
Okay, good.
Okay, any last question before we are wrapping it up? So I want to thank you everyone for joining us today. It was lovely to meet you and hopefully we'll be in touch soon.
Okay. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.